And welcome into Real Deal Sports Talk with me, your host, KP. It's a great football Sunday. There's a lot to talk about. There's some big things to talk about from college football yesterday. Some big things that involve sports and humanitarianism. Tom Brady went off today. So, we'll try and cover each and everything that we can while we got time to talk to you fellas today, for sure. So let's just get into it. I want to start off with the story about Usain Bolt. Everybody knows him as the Olympic sprinter, fastest man in the world record holder, 3 straight Olympics with the 100, 200, and the 4x100 golds. Athletically amazing. What you don't hear too much about is all the stuff he does with the wealth that is bestowed upon him. And this week, he has gone ahead and donated, again, more of his money, just like when he started donated all that money to the school after the Olympics. What was it, $20-something million there. He's now sending $10 million in relief to Haiti for the Hurricane Matthew relief. So much respect to Usain Bolt. You have the money, you have the power, and you are affecting change. So much respect to you, sir. Our hats are off to you. If I was in the same position, I'd like to hope that I would do the same as you have been doing. Cam Newton has been officially ruled out for tomorrow night's game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's not going to bid well for Carolina this season. I told you guys before, and a lot of teams are going, oh, well, now the defense isn't playing that good. It's not the dominating defense. I've told you guys on this show before. What got Carolina through last season was the fact that they didn't beat themselves. They didn't make the mistakes. Last season, as opposed to the season before that, Cam Newton did not try and be the entire offense. He did take less hits last season because he either threw it away or dumped it down or other things like that. Whereas this season, he's gotten back into the mode of, I need to make every play. Now, James Stewart's been out. The offensive line play's been inconsistent. The running game's been inconsistent. We all know the defense has played much, not worse, but back to where they were at the middle of the pack all of last year before they went on their nice run. And it's not just that Josh Norman's gone. It's not just that they started 2 rookies at corner. It's team management more than anything. They didn't build this team to be ready for this season, to face the onslaught that was going to come from being the defending NFC champion. And now Cam Newton's out Monday night against another division opponent in Tampa Bay, who's also going to be missing quite a few players. So, expect this one to be close, but big news is Cam Newton's out. Now, we talked about this yesterday in the DC3PO College Football Kickoff with Chris Rupert from the DirtCannon.com. Florida and LSU was postponed indefinitely because of Hurricane Matthew. Now, anybody who watched college football yesterday saw the highlights or watched the game between NC State and Notre Dame playing in Hurricane Matthew in about an inch of standing water on the field. NC State pulled out the win. But how come they can play in the hurricane and do what they have to do, but Florida and LSU couldn't get it worked out? Kind of leads to those conspiracy theories that are going on out there about what's really going on and the reason Florida wanted to postpone that game so badly. Big win for NC State, though. Notre Dame having a rough season. Guy had a rough night last night as the top card there on UFC 204, Dan Henderson, he fell to Michael Bisping in his title defense. And good for Michael Bisping. He's a guy that I really liked when he came off of the UFC TV show. I thought he was going to do more than he had earlier in his career. He just didn't get the chances. He was used a lot as an undercard guy. And, it took him a while to get broke into some of the bigger fights. And once he did, he capitalized on most of them until he got himself a title fight. And he got it. He took advantage of it. And, good for him. I like seeing guys like Michael Bisping win. And Dan Henderson's a classy fighter. He handled his loss very well. This guy, he's probably just going to keep fighting until the wheels fall off. A team yesterday that kept fighting until the wheels fell off was Navy. Did you guys catch it? Navy. This is a team, it's full of cadets. It's not the top players in the land. It's not the top players from every 5-star athlete that you can get. They don't have the top recruiting class. They're not ranked. And yesterday they go out and beat number 6 Houston 46-40. Now Houston had a good game. They put up a lot of points again. Good for Houston. I never believed in their ranking. I was shocked they beat OU early in the season because it was a couple of plays and a couple bad calls that really gave them that game. And they really don't have anybody else on their schedule. And that says a lot about their talent level. It says a lot about their team. And kudos to Navy. Kudos for going out there and playing a team game, playing together, playing tough, never giving up, and fighting right down till the end when Houston got it down to within 6 and still had a chance to try and make a play and do something to get the ball back to try and score again. And the Cadets went ahead and held out, beat number 6 Houston. Huge win for them. They beat a top 10 program this season. It's not going to vault them into the conversation of anything, but it's a big win. It's nice to have. Good for Navy. 2 other teams went off yesterday in college football. I don't know if you guys caught both of these, one of these, none of these. But both top 10 teams, Washington and Michigan, went for 70 or more than 70 points yesterday. Michigan won 78-0 on Rutgers. They scored every way you could imagine. They even had a score called back that didn't count on a good punt return by Peppers. Washington goes out, puts up a score of 70-21 on Oregon. Now, this is an Oregon program who's clearly having a down year because they've now lost 4 straight games. But both teams putting up 70 points. They're making statements. Now, true, they played what's equating to lesser opponents on this season. Rutgers is not on the same level as Michigan. We're finding out Oregon does not have all the pieces they need this season as they've had in seasons past to be competitive or dominant in the Pac-12 or nationally. But big games for 2 top 10 programs for sure yesterday. Somebody who didn't have a big game was Denver's offensive line today. The Falcons beat Denver 23-16. The score is closer than the game really was. And Denver's offensive line basically made Vic Beasley this year's Khalil Mack. Gave him 4 sacks. This guy's a bust. He hasn't done anything in the NFL. I think he had 4 sacks on his career coming into this game. And because of injuries and poor play and I don't know, guys just weren't ready, I guess. Really, it's not just the O-line. It was both lines. The O-line and the D-line got pushed around and beat up today. And we'll talk about that here in a little bit when we go through the NFL review. One guy who was not going to get pushed around today, and we talked about this, and kudos to the DirtCannon.com and Jeremy for picking some of these. He talked about, how Atlanta had the chance today, how they could be the upset, and those running backs would cause trouble for Denver, and they did. He told us how Brady was going to go off and have, in the 20s for the fantasy points, and he did. And Brady went off today on Cleveland. The Browns had a rough day. You don't want to be a Browns quarterback. And Brady put up, over 400 yards passing, 3 touchdowns to Martellus Bennett, 100-plus yards to both tight ends, just like we talked about him going to do on this show. They opened up the playbook. Brady stood on the Browns sideline after he ran for that first down and tried to dab, but, he did his best. He tried. And it's a big win. That's a momentum. He said, I felt some rust. I had to shake off some things. Sure he did. It was his first game back. He barely played in preseason. So you're going to see this Patriots team, all you haters out there, who wanted to hate on him so bad and fuel this flame in this most competitive person. You're going to see them dink and dunk and beat you over the top and down the middle and on the seams with their tight ends all season long. Tony Gonzalez said this morning on the CBS morning show, kickoff show, they expect Tom Brady to have an MVP-like season. He predicted around 40 touchdown passes. I can see that. You have a supreme athlete who is now very upset. And he got to start off and get a warm-up against a team that's really struggling. And he took full advantage of it and put everybody on notice. So get ready, NFL. Get ready. He's mad, and he's back. Brady he's putting in work. If you're going to beat the Patriots from this point on in the season, if you want to stop them from going 15-1, you better show up with pressure. You better show up with coverage, and you better be able to play them little quick routes. You better be able to put size on your tight ends. You better come with something special. 2 tight ends like what they're running with Gronk and Bennett. Then you throw Edelman in there who can be shifty, quick, and go deep. It doesn't matter who else they play. That's called matchup problem. Matchup problem. So look out. There he goes. Y'all got Brady back. All right, on the other side of the break, we got one team that is left undefeated in the NFL. One team. A player gets threatened to get ejected from the game for his cleats, and a legend gets passed.
TheDirtCannon.com is a local company that has your back. They have produced over 60% winners on FanDuel, DraftKings, and now even Yahoo. TheDirtCannon.com will help you build, play, and win. Build a better team with TheDirtCannon.com. Use promo code RDST and get $5 off forever, and try the silver membership this week for free. Visit TheDirtCannon.com.
Definitely check out the Dirt Cannon. Say that 5 times fast. TheDirtCannon.com. They're helping me in my fantasy game today. I'm currently winning on my team. I got to get some few more points from Mike Evans tomorrow night, but I'll definitely pull this week out. And I use their lineup analyzer, and it worked out for me. So check out thedirtcannon.com. We appreciate them being the official fantasy partner of Real Deal Sports Talk with KP. And we have our weekly segments with both Jeremy and Chris on the show. So check them out on Wednesday nights and Saturday mornings. All right, word is in. It is being reported by Adam Schefter and various other places that Justin Forsett will work out for the Lions tomorrow. I have to say, I'm excited about that. That's a good thing in my book. We are definitely lacking at the running back position right now. Abdullah is out for at least until week 10, depending on what reports, most likely for the season. Zach Zener, great Division II college running back, looked like he could be a special teams guy. He's kind of started to fall off in the rotation. The rookie Washington, he's suffering from an injury right now. Theo Riddick is a true change of pace guy. You don't want him to have to be your starter. And we went in with 2 running backs today, and Detroit did pull it out. So it's going to be a nice addition if Forsett works out. It works out contract-wise, and we can get a deal done to add him into the depth. He has familiarity with Caldwell from his time in Baltimore, and anything's good right now in the backfield for Detroit. We have one team left who is undefeated in the NFL. And if you would have asked a lot of people 5 weeks ago when this team started losing starters on offense like crazy, they would not have predicted that at this point, the NFC North leading, the NFL one undefeated team, Minnesota Vikings, would be sitting here on October 9th as the only undefeated team left in the NFL at 5-0. And they have a defense that is statistically